This is English revision for 5th standard. Let's begin with the first lesson, the guest of honor. Now you all must be knowing the story about Mullah Nasruddin, how he was invited for a banquet or a party, and then he's not allowed to enter because he was not dressed in very grand clothes. Then he goes to a friend's house and he borrows a dress and he wears that, and then he's allowed to enter the palace. And as he's sitting with the honorable guests eating food, he starts taking the soup, and he doesn't put it in his mouth. He keeps on putting it on his coat. So immediately the host says, "What are you doing, sir?" And Mullah Nasruddin says, "I was feeding the guest of honor." So the host says, "Oh, great sir, I do hope you enjoyed the soup. After all, you are the guest of honor, not me." And then the host says, "I know we have offended you in some way. Please tell me what happened." And then Mullah Nasruddin tells the host that how he was not allowed entry because of the guards, and then he had to go and change his dress and put on a grand robe, and then he was allowed inside. Then the host says, "We are extremely sorry, and we have learned an important lesson. To know the true worth of a man, one needs to look beyond his clothes." So then the host tells Nasruddin that it is very important to know the value of a person, and the value of a person doesn't lie in the clothes worn by a person. So let us go on to the exercises. The first one, A. Write T for true statements and F for false statements. 1. Mullah Nasruddin cared a great deal about outward appearances. False. He later went to the banquet in a magnificent robe. False. Yes, that is true. Later on, he went in a magnificent robe. First time, he went in his ordinary clothes. Third, the guards chased him away the first time as Nasruddin was dressed in ordinary clothes. True. 4. The guards recognized Nasruddin when he came the second time. No. False. 5. Clothes are more important than man. False. Second part, B. Answer the following questions. Where was Nasruddin invited? What was he invited as? He was invited to a banquet, and he was invited as the guest of honor. What did the guards do when Mullah Nasruddin tried to enter the mansion? The guards did not allow him to enter the mansion because he was not dressed in a very grand manner. What did Nasruddin ask his friend for? He asked his friend for a very grand robe. What happened when Nasruddin went to the banquet hall again? When he went to the banquet hall again, he was welcomed very warmly by the guards, and also he was taken and given the place of guest of honor. Why were the guests puzzled? Now the guests were puzzled because Mullah Nasruddin was actually not drinking the soup. He was feeding the coat. So that is why the guests were puzzled. What did the host do when Nasruddin told him the reason for his behavior? The host felt very sorry and apologized for the behavior of his guards towards Nasruddin. Now, what I'd like to tell you is, you have to look back into the work done by you in the notebook, because all this has been done by you in the notebook. The question answers, the true and false, the vocabulary, and even the writing practice. So please look up the notebook for your reference. Thank you. That's all for today. Very soon we'll go on to the next lesson, that is the treasure.